Hi everyone and welcome to my Elliott Wave analysis on Solana. Before we dive into the lower time frames, let me quickly introduce my view on the larger one. On the macro view, I'm here on the weekly chart and I have two scenarios for you. In the blue one, I have a more bearish outcome, and in the green one, I have a more bullish outcome. The blue scenarios, I see this wave here, or this structure as a wave. This one here as a B wave, and because the C wave contains has always 5 waves, I can count easily a wave 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we topped here in January 2025 and bleeding now out in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that. But that's not my preferred scenario. My preferred scenario I'm currently following is the green one with 2 alternatives inside. And in the green scenario, I'm following currently that this one is a wave 1. This was a wave 2. We bottomed here and we can prove that this was a valid wave 2. When we measure the length of wave 1, we want the price to hold above the 1.786 Fibonacci retracement. And Solana hold it exactly or pretty much at 0.618 support level. And that's an ideal support level for a wave 2 or a wave B. So both scenarios are valid. But in the green scenario, I'm following that this one was a wave 2. And after a wave 2, I'm expecting the third wave. So I'm expecting 5 waves to the upside in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be, again, a wave 1 of a larger circle green wave 3. In this scenario, I'm expecting now, again, a wave 2 pullback, so a 3-wave structure to the downside. And I have labeled that here in orange. That would mean that this wave here was an A wave, B wave, and now we're coming down in a C wave. And we bottoming here in the green wave 2. This scenario gets more and more speculative in my opinion. The only opinion or the only argument I found that, or let's start, what's the alternative scenario in green? The alternative scenario in green is that we not bottomed here the larger wave 2. The alternative in the green scenario would mean that we reset the wave 2 here. We still have a larger wave 1 here on the left-hand side. This is still a wave 1. But this move down was not the green wave 2. It was just an A wave. And now I count this one here not in a 5-wave structure. I can easily count this one in a 3-wave structure. And that would look like that. A wave, B wave, C wave in a larger A wave. Then we came down in a B wave, pretty short. And then we came up in a C wave. And yeah, that would be a 3-wave structure to the upside and would fulfill the larger B wave here. So A wave down, then 3-wave structure to the upside in this red B wave. And after a B wave, we're expecting a C wave to the downside. And that would look like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And would reset the green wave 2 from here to here. The only thing what's holding me back from the overshooting B wave currently is the following. When we measure this potential wave 1, and as already mentioned for the green wave 2 here, I told you that we want to hold in a wave 2 above the 0.786 to call it a valid wave 2. And when we check now, I mean, we have the same requirements to the downside when we have a 1-2 setup to the downside. And we say, okay, this one was in red wave 1, then we measure the length here of wave 1 to the downside, and we broke above the 0.786 retracement, then it gets really speculative that this is still a wave 2. A wave 2 gets actually only invalidated when we broke above or below the start of the wave 1. That would be here at the all-time high at around 296. Yeah, right there. If we would break above that level, then I could not consider this one here as a wave 1. So both scenarios I'm following, and I'm currently leaning more to the red outcome, which would consider that we had something like an overshooting B wave here, and we are coming now down in the C wave, and would reset the wave 2. That would mean that we have, or that we don't have to come below the A wave low here, but that could easily, I mean, I've measured here the potential wave 1. Here, if this one was the second wave 1, we want the price to hold above the $70.49. And in an overshooting B wave, we can easily go lower here, but we don't have to. But if we breaking below the $70, I mean, it's still enough room here. I don't want to say we have to, but I'm preparing, especially from a risk management point of view, just to get prepared that we can get a really deep pullback. I mean, when we see Solana right here at the 2022 low, we came from $159 down to $8. That's, I mean, Solana can do this move easily. So we were here at 297, and we can easily come down to the $70 level. I'm just saying. And because of that, I'm preparing myself for deep pullbacks here, especially when we jump now into the lower time frames. Okay, let's start here on the 8-hour. I mean, we can still say this is a 3-wave structure, but then this move here, yeah, what is it? Wave 1, wave 2, A wave, B wave, C wave. So this is something like 3-wave structure, or then C wave, A, B, C, and 4, or something like that. But this 5th wave gets really long. And the reason behind is why I'm counting this one here as a ABC is because this move here is not clearly in a 5-wave structure for me. I can count both scenarios. I mean, you see that's really choppy here, so I would say we can easily count this one here to the downside as a 3-wave structure. In 1, then A, B, C. In wave 2, wave A again, because if this one here was something like a 3-wave structure as well, then we have to expect a 3-wave, or the 3rd wave has to be in a 3-wave structure as well. So we got something like an A wave, B wave, C wave now, and if we count this one here now as an ABC, that would fit pretty well. I show you. in something like that, in a 1, 2, now the long third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, and this is still valid as long we hold below the $93. If we now see something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, then we have either a wave 1 or a larger A wave, but currently we're trading below the $93, and this is why I'm expecting on the short term, very short term here, more downside pressure. This is probably something like an A wave, a B wave, and now we see something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and testing here the levels of $93 maybe again, and then we're crashing down into the fifth waves to the downside. And now it's getting interesting because when we fulfill the requirements here for a third wave to the downside, so that would mean we reaching the area here at $52.49, because that's an ideal target for the third wave to the downside, measured when we jump back to the daily time frame, and I measured it here from the length of the wave 1 to the top of the wave 2, then we want to reach the area at around 52.49 for a valid third wave. And yeah, if we reach this area, then we can easily expect still the red wave 4, but we have to take it level by level. We still expect a downside move here in ABC. If we then get an impulse or something like that, something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a 5-wave structure, I mean, then we have a first bottoming signal, but this could still be, even if we have a 3-wave structure here to the downside. I mean, this outcome here with the 4-5 pattern or the larger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C is, in my opinion, the more favorable outcome from the current view, because it would give us lower prices and it would go faster. Because when we know bottoming here in this area and we're coming back, I mean, then we can expect a more extended wave A, because this could easily be something like this. A wave, B wave, C wave in a larger A wave, and then we come up again in something like this one here. A, B, C in a larger B wave, and then we crashing down, I don't know, at the end of the year again. Yeah, that would be pretty much in line with the Bitcoin count that we're bottoming in October this year. You can check that out in my library. I have uploaded a big Bitcoin update yesterday where I covered the macro levels there, and yeah, Solana is pretty much in line with Bitcoin. So yeah, Bitcoin gives the direction, and even if the price comes a little bit more up than the 50% here, let's measure the. Yeah, I mean, we could shoot here above that level, but then I would consider this here first as a larger A wave. But anyway, as long we stay now below the $93.20, I'm expecting one more low, at least one more low in the fifth wave, in the C wave. And if we reach the area at around $52.49, I'm expecting another 4-5 pattern to the downside, where we most probably bottoming, hopefully, or where we could bottoming in the larger wave C. So if you like this update and if you want to see more, then click the like button and subscribe. Check also out our WAP membership. We have currently 90 days for free. So stay tuned and see you next time. Bye bye.